Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has hinted at the possibility of making COVID-19 vaccines mandatory for students over 12 years of age. Speaking at the commissioning of the San Juan Government Primary School on Monday, he says if the vaccinated student population does not reach ideal herd immunity levels in September, government may have to intervene. The Prime Minister continues to urge parents to do what is right to protect their children, but believes government may have to take measures to ensure enough students are vaccinated.
Left it up to the responsibility of parents to be reasonable, to be understanding, to be caring, and to be responsible. And if it gets to that, the government will have no difficulty in intervening on the children's behalf, as we've done with measles, with mumps.
Dr. Rowley assures that all children will have an education, but notes that whether a child is vaccinated or not could determine whether that will be virtual or physical classes.
So those who have 1,000,001 reasons from Facebook to not get your children vaccinated, that is your right. But by the same token, other parents have rights for their children, and the government has a right and a responsibility. Every child will be guaranteed an education, but the nature of that education, the face-to-face contact, will be determined by the health and safety consideration.
The Prime Minister reminds that the Pfizer vaccine has been granted full approval by the US FDA and says that should allay any doubt or fear that parents had before. Asking teachers to declare their vaccination status at this time is not a requirement, but Education Minister Dr. NYAN GADSBY-DOLLY is not ruling out the possibility of that happening in the future. She confirms that the Ministry of Education did make arrangements for teachers to be vaccinated and is unable to say how much of the teacher population has been inoculated. But Dr. GADSBY-DOLLY notes teachers have not been asked to submit whether they have been inoculated or not.
Many went in when we would not have had the log of that, because they would have gone in on their own to get vaccinated and so on. So at this point in time, we do not have a list of teachers that we say this one is vaccinated, this one is not vaccinated. We have not asked for that information. However, if it becomes necessary to do so, well then that will be a governmental decision, a governmental policy, and as the Ministry of Education, we will comply with that.
Meanwhile, the minister says no decision has yet been taken to give an option to students who want to continue virtual classes when schools are physically reopened. But she says all factors will be considered on the possibility of a physical reopening of school on September 6.
Well, that is something that the Prime Minister will have to decide upon based on the advice of the Ministry of Health. But schools will begin virtually on September the 6th, and we will, if we are able to bring some students out at that time physically, well, all the better. But that will be guided by the vaccination response and certainly the advice on the Ministry of Health.
The minister was speaking during the commissioning of the San Juan Government Primary School on Monday.